If my urine bubbles, is it because I eat too much soy, mix of food and nutrition? So, a lot of people, especially people with kidney disease, they are really worried about the effect of protein on their kidneys. While it is true that people with kidney disease, they will have issues with protein, with how their kidneys will handle protein, or with having high level of protein in their urine. It's not really a concern for people who are otherwise healthy. For example, one of the markers of kidney damage is having a lot of protein in your urine. And when you have a lot of protein in your urine, what happens then is that your urine becomes really bubbly or highly foamy. This is a sign of high protein in the urine. It is not so much the protein cause the kidney disease, it's more of the kidney disease that causing the high level of protein. So what happens with kidney disease is that your kidneys is no longer able to filter things correctly. These little mechanisms in your kidneys used for filtering blood is not working very well anymore. And protein is a very large molecule. Now your kidneys filters by size, and protein usually can't make it through because your kidneys filter it out. Stop it from passing through. But when you have damage in your kidneys, when you have kidney disease, this filter doesn't work very well anymore. So protein can escape from the blood into the urine, and that's what doctors can help picking up on that. So for people with kidney disease, yes, they might have to control their protein intake to not overburden or overstress their kidneys. But for people who have a healthy kidneys, they are okay. It really doesn't matter how much protein you eat. You are not going to harm your kidneys. And researchers have actually looked into athletes. Even if the athletes took like 240% of the recommended protein intake, their kidneys would be fine because their kidneys are healthy and they are working properly. So the kidneys will do what the kidneys do, and it will filter things in the correct way. So if you have healthy kidneys, if you don't have kidney disease, you don't have to worry about protein you eat. That won't affect your kidneys function. But if you have kidney disease, then it is something that you want to take into consideration. Have you learned this? Like and share this with your friends and family who are afraid of eating soy protein. What's the difference between soy isoflavones, soy isolate, and wholesome soy? Myth of food and nutrition. Do you know what is the difference between soy isoflavones, soy isolates, and wholesome soy? Comment below what sort of soy you have now. When it comes to the soy, isoflavones is specific components within soy. It's one of the phytonutrients inside soy that researchers like to look at. When you do research, they want to eliminate all the variables. So a lot of time they will isolate one nutrient and look at one specifically. So they know that the results are due to this one thing and not something else. Soy isolate is when you take the soy and isolate it from everything else. Wholesome soy is the entire soybean all together. Alright, so when it comes to our diets, what we want to look at, what we want to do is that we want the wholesome soy instead, because that is the entire soy all together. When we do that, we get the fiber within the soy. We get all the nutrients that are within the soy. We are not just looking one small component of the soy. We are not just consuming a little bit of soy and getting rid of all the rest. When we get soy, we want to enjoy all of the benefits that soy can give us. We want all the phytonutrients within the soy. We want all the fiber in the soy. We want all the things that a soybean can offer us. Alright, so when it comes to our diet, we really want to look at the wholesome foods, because even though scientists have identified all sorts of nutrients inside soy, like the isoflavones, that doesn't mean that they are the most important nutrients or the only nutrients that we need. There are so many nutrients inside the wholesome soybean that scientists don't even know about yet. But we can still benefit from it, right? So when it comes to our food choices, we want to look at the wholesome foods. That way we are getting all sorts of nutrients. We are getting all sorts of fiber in our diet as well. And we are bringing our health all sorts of benefit. Like my videos and share it with your friends and family so they understand more about soy. Can dialysis patients consume soy? Is soy protein a complete protein? Myth of food and nutrients. Alright, if someone on dialysis, can they have soy protein? Before we get into it, let's talk about dialysis. So dialysis is a procedure that basically take over the job of your kidney when they can't function properly anymore. This can happen because of chronic kidney disease or kidney failure. What it does is it helps remove waste, salt, and extra water from your body, while also keeping your blood chemicals level in check. You know, stuff like potassium, sodium, and bicarbonates. And yeah, it even helps you control your blood pressures. Now, when it comes to people with kidney disease on dialysis, a lot of things is that it depends on how severe their kidney disease is, what type of dialysis they have, and how often they have their dialysis. Because for people who are on dialysis, their diet is super strict. It's very strictly controlled. So for different people, they will have different amount that they can tolerate. So it depends on the patient. They have to ask their doctors how much protein they are allowed to have, how much protein they can have, how much protein can their kidneys handle, how much protein they can handle with these schedules of dialysis. You know, it's really depends on the person, but when it comes to proteins in general, people with kidney disease, they do have to be more careful about protein because they have kidney disease. Because of their kidney disease, their kidneys will have more difficult times handling this thing like protein because the protein have a very large molecules. But for people like me, probably like you, who don't have kidney disease, they don't have to worry about protein at all. Having too much protein is not going to give people or someone have kidney disease. Protein is only concerned after someone already have the kidney disease. It is not to cause kidney disease. Alright, so however, for people with kidney disease, there's also have research showing that soy proteins or other plant-based proteins is actually a better choice than animal protein. There's a lot of research out there showing that plant-based proteins like soy proteins actually has a smaller burdens on the kidneys compared to the animal-based proteins. So when it comes to people who have kidney disease or who are on dialysis, you have to look at how bad their kidney disease, how much kidney function do they have left. You also have to look at their dialysis, what type of dialysis they are having, and how often their dialysis schedules. You have to look on those things and also communicate together with their doctors as to what level of protein they should be having, or they can have more than what certain of amount. When it comes to the type of protein, then I would recommend that they go for plant-based proteins rather than animal-based proteins. When it comes to soy in general, soy is a really great source for protein. A lot of people believe that soy protein is not as good as animal protein, or they say it's not a complete protein. When it says soy protein is a complete protein. Now, what does it mean when someone say, what is a complete protein, or is this a complete protein? It means that the protein will give you all the amino acids that your body needs, plus all of the essential amino acids. Now, what is an essential amino acid? An essential amino acid is an amino acid that your body is incapable of synthesizing its own. It's a type of amino acid that your body has to get from its diet because your body can't make it itself. Now, soy protein is a complete protein. I repeat again, soy protein is a complete protein. It contains all of the essential amino acids that your body needs. If you were to only have soy protein as your only source of protein, that would be fine because your body would be getting every amino acid that it needs from your diet. A lot of people, they also think that soy protein is not as good as animal protein because they think it's not as easy as soy because it's a plant protein. When in fact, researchers have actually looked into it. They developed a sort of protein digestibility amino acid score. Oh, that's a long name. What they did was they looked into someone's digestive system and they looked at how well the protein absorbs at every component, at every part of the digestive system. They found that the soy protein and animal protein were absorbed just as well. According to the scoring system, they gave soy protein a score of 1, which is the highest possibility score. They also gave animal protein a score of 1, meaning that soy protein is as easily absorbed by your body as animal protein is. It's not something that you have to be concerned about. When you have soy protein, your body has no issue absorbing it or digesting it. Number 2, you are getting all the amino acids you need. It is a complete protein. It's actually a really great choice. If you are taking animal proteins, you are getting a complete protein as well. Your body can digest it and absorb it, but you are also getting extra things like a lot of extra calories, a lot of extra saturated fats. You have a lot of cholesterol as well. There is a lot of extra things that you are getting along with the protein like animal protein. Whereas if you go for soy protein, you are getting all the amino acid you need. You are getting a complete protein. Your body has no problem digesting or absorbing it. You aren't getting the extra calories. You aren't getting the extra cholesterol. You aren't getting the extra saturated fat. It is, I personally think, a healthier choice out there. Unfortunately, some people, they are allergic to soy. Alright, allergies are one of those things in which you can be allergic to anything in the world. Alright, you can be allergic to water. Yes, water. There are people out there who are allergic to water. Some people think that, oh, because someone is allergic to something, it means that it is not healthy. But that's not true at all. For example, for people who are allergic to water, does that mean that water isn't healthy for you? No. It just means that their immune system has an inappropriate response to something. Alright? So there's a lot of things that can lead to allergy occurring. Alright, and we still don't know why exactly an allergy happens. But there's all sorts of theories behind. For example, one of these theories is something we call hygiene hypothesis. And that's what is saying that if children growing up in a too clean environment, their immune systems actually go a bit heavy. Alright, let's give you a bit of the background of this. When babies are born, you know everything about them is new to the world, including their immune system. So when babies are growing up, when they are growing up into kids, their immune system is also growing together with them. The immune system is also learning about the world with them. So the hypothesis goes as this. This research has noted that children who had, older, the firstborn children actually have more allergies than children who are born after them. Now, researchers felt that this was because the children who were born first, they had a lower exposure to all sorts of bacteria or these germs around them. Whereas children who born afterwards, they will be more exposed to the greatest number of germs by their sibling. This is also why, children who go to daycare centers or children who have pets, they tend to have a lower risk of allergies than children who don't, because they are exposed to all sorts of different germs out there. Alright, so now you know. I know there's a lot of parents that have this need. They have to drive to protect their kids from everything. You have seen those moms where they follow their babies with cloths and wipe everything. They want to keep everything super clean because they don't want their kids to get sick. When in reality, it's alright. It's alright for your kids to get sick every once in a while. It's alright for them to get dirty every once in a while, because what happens then is that their immune system has to come to contact with all of these different germs. The immune system has to learn how to interact with the world around it. It has to learn. Or this is something that I can just, I do nothing about. It's harmless to me. Whereas if you have a kid who grown up in a super clean environment, what happens then is the researchers believe the immune system, it doesn't have the level of training. It never had these germs to interact and play with. So what happens then is that your immune system just sort of sitting there, like doing nothing, and then all of a sudden here come a flower of pollens. Like a piece of flowers of pollens, and your immune system go, hey, wait, what is that? Let's launch and all out to attack the pollen. And this is the allergic reaction. An allergic reaction is an inappropriate response by your immune system to something that is harmless. So, a lot of times, people believe that this is one of the ways in which people can develop allergies. Unfortunately, when it comes to allergies like this, it can happen to anyone and to anything. Alright? People can have allergy to anything at all. So when it comes to allergies, unfortunately, a lot of allergies, they can't be cured. Alright? There's all sorts of treatments or protocols that people can go through for allergies, but they aren't guaranteed to work 100% of the time. And most of these protocols are more for allergies such as bee stings or something like that. Foodborne allergies or allergies for something that you eat are very, very difficult to deal with. But the good news is that a lot of food allergies people have as in children. A lot of them, when they tend to grow up, when they get older, this allergy becomes less severe, but that's not always the case. It does happen to someone, right? Is soy harmful for people diagnosed with hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism? Myth of foods and nutrition. When it comes to hyperthyroidism, what it means that you have too much of thyroid hormone in your body. So hypothyroidism and soy have nothing to do with each other. When it comes to hyperthyroidism, there are things that can cause it. A lot of these things are things like autoimmunes or inflammations in your thyroid glands, which can cause your thyroid glands to pump out more hormones than you needed. But for someone with hyperthyroidism, they don't need to avoid soy, regardless of their cause. Soy won't harm their hyperthyroidism. It's totally fine to include it in your diet. So, when it comes to hyperthyroidism or even hypothyroidism, there is no food they need to avoid in particular. There is no food that will cause negative effects on their thyroid disease. So, when it comes to thyroid diseases, what we really want to do is that we want to encourage them to have an overall healthy diet. There is no specific thyroid diet that people with thyroid diseases need to follow. It's more an overall healthy diet. So, for those with hyperthyroidism, you don't need to worry about eating soy. Soy is perfectly fine for people with thyroid diseases to consume. It's okay. So you don't have to worry about that at all. For someone with hypothyroidism, another issue that a lot of people with hypothyroidism struggle with is weight control. So, hypothyroidism means that people don't have enough of thyroid hormone. And for people with hypothyroidism, what happens is their body's metabolism will slow down. Then we'll find it's difficult to control their weight. They might find it's very easy to gain weight, and for someone with hypothyroidism, they might require less calories every day than someone without a thyroid disease at all. Whereas hypothyroidism, on the other hand, can actually cause people to lose weight. Hypothyroidism can cause people to gain weight. So when it comes to hypothyroidism, when it comes to controlling weight or losing weight, again, it is all about controlling the amount of calories you eat. There's no easy way about it. It is all about counting calories. Counting calories sounds very simple on the surface. It is about if you eat less calories than your body burns, then you will lose weight. But if you eat more calories than your body burns, then you will gain weight. It is that simple on the surface, but in reality, it is actually pretty complicated. It is really difficult to manage because people routinely underestimate how many calories they eat and overestimate how many calories their body burns. So it can be quite difficult in that way, especially with someone with hypothyroidism. Their body may already burning less calories than the normal person. So they will have to take that into adjustment as well. So that's all about, once again, eating healthy. And when it comes to controlling calories content as well, another thing that really difficult for people they're struggling with feeling of hunger. It's really difficult to stick with a calorie deficient diet, especially when you feel hungry all the time. One of the keys that we can curb with that feelings of hunger is by eating plenty of fiber-rich and protein-packed foods. Because both fiber and protein can control your appetite to help you suppress your appetite and help you to feel full for longer, to help you to keep or hold on to that feelings of fullness. So if you are trying to lose weight and you have hypothyroidism, what you really want to do is start switching out foods for healthier versions. For example, you want to eat a lot of more vegetables. You want to eat a lot more healthy sources of protein, like soy. You don't have to avoid soy, that's fine. And you want to eat a lot all of these foods together, and you want to exercise as well. I know with hypothyroidism, it also comes with the feeling of fatigue. So it's a double hit there. Body is more likely to gain weight and you are feeling super tired. So it's really tough. I know that it's really tough. But it is one of those things that you want to keep it on top of. So when it comes to hypothyroidism, it is super important to take your medications. Either hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, you really need to take your medication. Thyroid disease is one of those diseases that actually is sort of satisfying to treat as a doctor, because a lot of diseases out there, it's all about making someone feel better. It's all about trying to stop the disease from getting worse. But with thyroid disease, you know, it is the closest thing that you can come to a cure. You are literally giving them the hormone they are lacking. And the change is incredible for someone. So, when it comes to thyroid diseases, you really need to take your medication. Please, make sure you are really consistent about taking your medication. Normally, I don't encourage taking medication, but not this time. For thyroid diseases, if you do not take your medication and you get super high thyroid hormones levels, you will end up with problems. If you don't take your medication for your hypothyroid disease, and you end up with super low level of thyroid problems, you will end up with really bad problems, okay? Well, you see, there's no natural way to make your thyroid produce more or less hormone than it is already does. So, you really need to take your medication. I cannot stress this enough. With thyroid disease, regardless if it is hyper or hypo, it is really important to be super diligent about taking your thyroid medication. Now, we also know that soy will not bring harm Also, it's a good for us. Comment if you have any question. Give a like if you learn something and share this for more people so that they can learn this. We will have new videos uploaded every week, so remember to subscribe and turn on the notification. Good luck and stay healthy. See you next time.